Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, your two artsy gals. Here are your two artsy gals.
Hey everybody, this is Katie.
And this is Sharon.
And you are listening to the Two Artsy Gals podcast. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope that my power doesn't go out.
Oh God.
We're having a windstorm, and also that my power supply holds up on my computer. I ordered a new one.
Oh my God. We're crossing fingers and toes.
We're crossing all kinds of shit. And it's cold up in this bitch today too, so I'm crossing my arms over my chest to warm myself up. But other than crossing shit, we are going to be talking today about bones and taxidermy in mixed media artwork.
I'm so excited.
I'm so fucking excited because this is... And you know what? I cannot believe it has taken us, this is our 33rd episode?
Yeah.
Dude, the words taxidermy critters is in our theme song. And it has taken us 33 episodes to talk about bones and taxidermy. How did that happen?
I have no idea. That's crazy.
That's so, especially since we're both so fucking geeky about it.
I know.
That's weird. Anyway,
weird.
We're fucking talking about it now.
All right.
Let's do some talking about it. So... For those of you who maybe, people might be going, what? Bones and taxidermy and artwork? It's a thing. I like to use them in my mixed media art. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. My husband just came in with a giant spear. And I think he was going to go outside and get some rats so we could taxidermy them.
Is he really going to do that? For real?
He's holding it up saying rat control for now because he went out to the quail barn. And there were 6 rats in there. So
I will lick
I'd have something to work with.
I'll lick his face if he gets me a rat.
I'll let him know.
You should let him know that.
She's going to lick your face if you get a rat. That's a good thing.
Only lick things that I really, really like.
She only licks things that she really, really likes.
I'm a little bit scared.
He's not responding because we're recording.
Okay. He's being good.
He is being good. Now he's got his faithful companion, Radar Love, to go out there and kill some rats.
Oh
Radar Love's our dog.
And that song is the best song ever. So, well, it's not the best song ever, but it is one of the best songs ever. I think I needed to add it to my shower playlist.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He has something to add. Yes? He'd like to know, for our listening audience, how he made the spear so that you can maybe kill some animals for taxidermy as well. PVC pipe, duct tape, and a broad-headed arrow.
Wow.
And now he's going out into the freezing weather, into some sweatpants, a t-shirt, the dog, a flashlight, and his spear.
There he goes. He should totally go to my mom and my grandma's next because they have rats so bad under their house you can hear them at night.
That's disgusting. That's called the rats of Nim.
They're bastards.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, oh God.
Because we have rats, mice, bats, and birds living in our walls.
Ew. What if there's rabies?
They pretty much stay their distance.
All right.
I mean, between the walls.
But if you come over to my house with your foaming at the mouth and shit, I'm not letting you inside.
Are you sure? What if I scratch at the door? What if I have cookies?
I will call vector control and say there is some bitch at my house and she's foaming at the mouth. She might be rabid, so I don't know if you need to blow dart her or some shit, but get her the fuck out of my front door.
Not even gonna say my friend Sharon may be having a rabies attack. No, some bitches at the door foaming at the mouth. Okay, so I know where I stand if I get rabies with Katie.
If you get rabies, I will never lick your face again.
Oh.
Until
Okay,
until your rabies goes away.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Well, I don't think it's curable, but you can get those belly shots and shit. I don't know. We're totally off track, though. Again.
Totally are. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, let's get back on track. Back on track.
So, taxidermy and bones are very often used in art. Taxidermy, of course, I think is an art in and of itself. And I've seen bad taxidermy. Right now, I have, my dream piece of taxidermy is a raven. Mm-hmm. And I have one in my garage that was given to me for free. Except for that it has at some point had a bug infestation.
Oh, no.
And it smells awful.
Oh, no. Like somebody didn't taxidermy it right?
Yeah. And I think the guy who gave it to me was really super sweet and he gave it to me. And I'm sorry if you're listening, Dawn. I love it. I look at it in the garage all the time. But I'm going to take it to a taxidermist and see if it can be salvaged. Because it was a raven that was found in an animal trap, like a bear trap or something, I don't know. It was found dead, though. The person that taxidermied it didn't kill it to taxidermy it. He found it freshly dead and taxidermied it, and he was I think a hobbyist.
Oh.
And so I don't know if it smells bad because it wasn't properly done, or if it smells bad because it had a bug infestation that wasn't properly taken care of, or what, but I'm not putting it in my house because it fucking stinks. So it's in my garage in a box, and I'm going to take it and see if I can have it fixed. But I love, my jam is taxidermy birds.
Totally. If you find a good taxidermist, let me know, because my brother has an awesome blue jay in a jar, and I was like, oh, you can't just leave that in a jar. You better put some borax or something on that shit. But I don't know how it's doing now.
He should have stuck it in the freezer.
Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea. He made a cool little altar and stuff in the jar with cool stuff in it. I should probably tell him to put it in the freezer.
Yeah, he should probably
put
it
outside.
In the freezer. Yeah, it needs to go in the freezer. It's probably rotten by now. They don't take long to deteriorate and decompose.
Yeah, he's probably thrown it out by now.
He should probably throw it in the garbage. But yeah. So you can do I don't know if any of you have ever watched, what's that show? Now I totally brain farted the name of it. Oddities? Have you seen that one, Sharon? Oh my
haven't.
God, I can't believe it. It's on the Learning, I don't know, one of those channels. I think it's actually on the Discovery, not the Learning Channel, the Discovery Channel, the upper number learning channels, the Science Channel or something like that. But anyway, it's a show about these people sell weird oddities in their shops, and one of them, now they have an Oddity San Francisco, and this lady who works there, who I cannot remember her name right now, and I probably should have looked it up before we started, but she does little dioramas with taxidermied mice in costume, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They act out historical scenes, and when I went to visit my friend in San Francisco a couple of springs ago, I went into the Oddity San Francisco store, and I was totally geeking out because both the people who are on the show regularly were in there, and I was trying to act like I'm not a fan. I just went and bought some stuff all casually.
Yeah,
I wanted one of her dioramas so bad, but I didn't have the money. I would have blown my whole vacation wad on my first day if I would have bought one. I would have had no money for the rest of the weekend, but I really wanted one really bad. But yeah, so you can use you can do that. I don't know, my friend Alicia does a lot of stuff with bones and mixed media assemblages. She even did one with chicken livers in a jar that lit up from underneath.
Whoa, how did she preserve the chicken livers?
I think she actually had a little bit of trouble with that. First she tried alcohol, but the alcohol kind of cooked them. So, and then she used some kind of oil. She used a few things, and I think it was a mixture of alcohol and maybe mineral oil that ended up working in the end to preserve them. But yeah, they're just sealed in a little vintage jar that has an LED light underneath it, because LED lights don't get hot. So
super cool.
They're really cool. That was in her, and I'll actually ask her if I can post a picture of it on our blog. It's It was a self-portrait that she did. It was actually published in Seth Apter's book, his mixed media book. But yeah, look up taxidermy and bones and mixed media art if you're unsure of the correlation between the two or how it works, because I sometimes forget that not all people like weird art shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what? Why are you shocked by this? Because it doesn't shock me, but that's because I like it.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, because I just recently, well, it's been a little while, but if our listeners don't know, we have a hobby farm and we have chickens and quail, and so I just preserved some feet from some of the animals that I had slaughtered and butchered.
I'm waiting for my fucking quail feet, BT dubs.
I know. Well, you know what? Now I'm waiting because now I got to send you some soap.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going to send it all in one package.
Yay!
So I preserved these feet. My brother was super excited about it, and Katie was obviously super excited about it, but then I told somebody else, and they weren't quite as excited about my preserved quail feet.
I have crow feet.
Chicken legs.
I love that. You know, today I had my physical therapy appointment for my ankle surgery, so I tried out all the crutches and walker and all this stuff just to see what was going to work best for me, and I got fitted for them and, you know, practiced using them and whatever. But I asked him, I said, do you think that the doctor will let me keep my bone spur? And he goes, I don't see why not. I guess it would just depend on him. I mean, there's no rules against it. But why would you want a bone spur? And I said, well, it came out of me. And I said, plus, I like using bones in my mixed media artwork. And I think I kind of want to do like a little assemblage and put it in there. And he goes, okay, that's weird. And don't tell him that's why you want to use it. Because I think if he thinks you're going to take it out of the biohazard bag and play with it, he probably won't give it to you. I'm like, but it's my own biohazard. Like, it came out of me. It's not going to make me sick. They're my fucking germs. So.
Oh my god. What will it look like?
I don't know. It's a piece of bone. Like, they're just going to go in with a little chisel and a hammer and go like, tink, 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 and break it out of my joint. I'm sure they'll kind of grind it down and stuff too, but they chisel it out. So.
Wow.
It's a chunk of bone. It's not very big, but.
You gotta get it.
I totally want to get it. I'm gonna campaign really hard. I have my appointments tomorrow, and that is the first thing I'm gonna ask my doctor.
Awesome.
He thinks I'm fucking weird anyway, so. Is it because he's really cute and I get stupid when I talk to him?
Oh no.
I can
totally understand that.
Super dumb. But yeah, so, you know, if you're not into bones and taxidermy and this offends you in any way, you should probably not listen to this episode if that isn't already clear. If you haven't already tuned out, it's not going to get any better. We're not going to stop talking about it. I did kind of want to take a minute to talk about humane taxidermy, and I want you all to understand that I prefer vintage taxidermy, like the birds and stuff. I don't hunt to kill the birds okay, confession, I do own a frog that's actually a purse. I bought it in Mexico. It has a zipper in the belly. My husband bought it as a gift for me. That's probably not humane taxidermy. So, I'm just gonna say. And I also have, like, a crocodile foot.
Whoa.
That I got it at that Loved to Death, the show from Oddity San Francisco. You've never seen my crocodile foot?
No.
I'm showing it to Sharon right now over Skype.
Wait, don't move it. Whoa. Looks very much like a chicken foot.
It's freeze dried, and you can see all the bones and shit up inside of it if you look at the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like where they cut it off. It's cool. But, so yeah, you know, that kind of stuff is probably not the most humanely gathered, but on the whole, I don't have a huge taxidermy collection, but I prefer it when I know that, like, it's an animal that has died of natural causes. Or, you know, I mean, vintage taxidermy I like. There's a store around here. I'm not going to give away my sources because there's a piece I want that hasn't sold yet that I'm saving money for. And I don't. It's a squirrel that's holding a mouse in its teeth.
Oh, wow.
How fucking awesome is that? But, so, and bones, I use found bones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, or, you know, I mean, I have, like, buried animals that I found dead and then dug up their bones later. People, it's not as creepy as it sounds, okay?
No.
I feel that it's normal behavior. My husband
I feel like
does
it's on
not.
the realm, in the spectrum. Yeah, of normal.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with burying a dead squirrel and digging up its bones. Like, I mean a squirrel that's been hit by a car or something. I wouldn't, like, just find a diseased squirrel and bury it, because bleh.
Yeah, totally.
And I draw the line at, like, the rats that we had here 2 summers ago. My husband asked if I was going to, like, do something with them. And they were giant, gross Norwegian rats that were coming out of the sewer, so no.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers are nasty.
They are. And they're big. Yeah.
And when it's August and it's like 98 degrees outside and a wet rat runs across your porch, there's only one reason that it's wet. It has come from the sewer. Think about it for just a second. You're gonna know it's covered in sewer water. I don't want anything to do with it other than to, like, glove up and empty it out of the trap I just broke its neck with.
Yeah.
Because we had a real problem with them when they worked on the sewer down the street.
Oh, yeah.
A couple summers ago. It was out of control. It was so gross. 17 rats in a month I caught.
Wow.
So, but yeah. So, you know, found bones. I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, Sharon is slaughtering birds for food and, you know, whatever. I'm fine with that. So if you're not okay with that, basically what we're saying is don't send us any messages about how horrible we are, because we're just going to tell you to suck a bag of dicks and move on with things. So that's how we feel about that. Technically, I'm usually the one that answers the email, so I'm going to tell you to suck a bag of dicks. Sharon would actually probably never say that to someone, but, you know, I don't have a problem with that kind of stuff. So
Katie is the gatekeeper of the emails.
I am. And I also am pretty creative at name calling.
Yeah. Yes, it's an art form in itself.
It is. Like the guy that made fun of me walking across the street with my cane and my cart to the grocery store.
Oh, dear Lord.
He was a passenger in a car that stopped at the crosswalk and told the guy to let the tard cross the street. So I walked over and stuck my head in his car window and said, "I'm not retarded, you manky bucktooth fucktard." And he just looked at me like, what is happening right now? And then I stormed off. And then as they drove away...
You told him to suck on
I did! I said, "Suck a bag of dicks, you manky bucktooth fucktard." That's what I said. And I yelled it in the window, really in his face. And then the driver goes, "Yeah, she's not a tard, you tard." And then they drove away, so... And I still see that guy and our Fred Meyer once in a while. And he will not make eye contact with me.
As he should not.
No, because he did once, and I kind of did that thing where you lunge at someone like you're going to beat him up. Okay, so really everybody knows how fucking crazy I am, and I guess that, you know, digging up bones and lunging at people in public. Alright, so I'm a fucking nut. Whatever. I'm okay with it if you're okay with it.
Did you tell him you were going to make him into a taxidermy?
No, I didn't. Although I will say, when I was doing research for this episode, I typed in humane taxidermy.
Oh.
Okay, so I got a couple of links on humane taxidermy, but the number of human taxidermy links that came up was a little unnerving. Like, and mostly it was from forums and threads where people were asking if it was legal to taxidermy humans and how you might go about doing it. And apparently it's not illegal if you request it to be done with your remains after you die. But can you imagine having like, "Oh, hey, just throw your coat over Great Uncle Fred's arm around the corner. He'll hold it for you." Like, that's fucking weird. That's where I draw the fucking line.
Yeah,
is taxidermied people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked that one, the Body Worlds exhibit that comes to OMSI. Have you seen that? Like, that's okay. And I guess that's kind of some kind of taxidermy, but he plasticizes all the organs and, like, that's cool shit. But if you're just fucking, you know, stuffing...
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, if you're stuffing Granny, though, and propping her up in the corner, not okay.
No.
So, I want to talk a little bit about how to find bones and taxidermy stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
Really, the biggest way that I find bones is to just be observant when I'm out on walks in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even, we live really close to, I'm going to brain fart the name of it. Trillium State Park. That's not right. Is that Trillium? I don't know. Anyway, we live really close to a state park. We have lots of city parks that are in the woods, like Forest Park. Like, if you're walking around out in the woods, just keep your eyes on the ground and be observant, because you find a lot of bones that way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if your friends know that you're freaky and weird and you like such things, you will get just boxes of bones sometimes in the mail, I have found.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what my favorite bone I own is? I have 2 of them.
Oh, I know what it is.
I have 2 raccoon penis bones.
I love it.
And they are awesome. I love them. I like to use them to... I've actually bound journals and used the penis bone as a spine.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I wish I still had that one. I actually gave it to someone.
I should totally be using more bones in my jewelry.
You totally should. But I like little tiny skulls and stuff. And actually a really good source of finding skulls and bones, small animal bones, are in owl pellets. Have you ever dissected an owl pellet?
Yes, as a kid, it's so fun.
So, for those of you who don't know, owls eat all kinds of little tiny animals, and then they hawk up these great big, like, chunks. They're like a hard or like a compact hairball, but basically they just, everything that they can't digest comes up in this pellet form, and they're all over the place in the woods. You can find them.
Can you?
Yeah.
I never look for them.
The state park down by our house. Why can't I think of the fucking name of it? Is it Trillium State Park? I don't know.
I think it's Trillium State.
Is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Anyway, you can get those there. You can walk around and find them there. They have guided walks, and they'll show you where they are. But also, you can buy them online.
Okay.
If you know people with barns, barn owls are a great source of that. My husband's uncle has a barn, and I like to go get them there sometimes. If you collect them yourselves, I can't remember the temperature, look them up online. You need to cook them, like bake them in the oven at a certain temperature just to kill all the germs in them.
Okay.
So, and then you just spray them with water and pull them apart. Plus, if you don't cook them, they kind of stink.
Yeah. Sometimes
you can find full mouse skeletons and, or but especially the skulls, because the skulls are the biggest part of the skeleton of little animals like that. You can get a lot of little cool skulls from inside those. And you can get teeth too. I like using animal teeth in my artwork also.
Yeah. Super cool. I totally want to order some. Could you send a link or put a link up of like where you could order some of those?
Yeah, I'll do a little bit of research and I'll put them on there. One great resource that has them sometimes is American Science and Surplus.
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware of that company?
No, I'm not.
Because they also have other really cool, if you're into electronics and stuff, they have all kinds of cool shit. Sometimes they have them, but I'll put up some links of where you can order owl pellets. You can also get them on eBay, I think, too.
Oh, I bet you're right.
But, again, it's not a guarantee that every pellet is going to have bones in it. Sometimes they don't. But it's also kind of a cool thing to do with your kids for like.
Oh yeah, I used to love to do it in school.
Educational kind of stuff. And I don't know where you went to school, but it was way cooler than where I went to school, because I didn't know about owl pellets until I was an adult.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I may have done it at a camp, or I used to go to quite a few day camps. Mm-hmm. So I may have done it through that.
I'm surprised
I think I did it in junior high, though.
Well, junior high, maybe. It sounds like something junior high science project-y that we would have done. And maybe it's just that, I don't know, maybe the part of the coast that I grew up in, I don't know. There are owls all over down there, so that was a weird theory that I was going to go off on that's just incorrect. So, I don't know. It surprises me, though, because I grew up in a hunting and fishing community full of rednecks, so. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised I don't know about that. Plus, I liked really gross shit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You would have thought. Who knows? I know about them now, though, and that's what's important. And as far as vintage taxidermy and stuff, like,
That's right.
keep your eyes open at thrift stores.
Really?
Thrift stores, secondhand stores, a lot of vintage shops. And if you look around, there are shops that just sell, like, a weird, cool shit.
Yeah, totally.
And you can find... And you can also look online for vintage taxidermy. Again, I'm not an expert, but you will probably want to look online and find out what to look for as far as good taxidermy and bad taxidermy goes.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have even a small collection and you bring one piece of taxidermy they get these certain bugs, I can't remember the name of them, but if you bring one in, your whole collection will go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they spread. So you really, and unfortunately those bugs also will eat carpet and furniture.
Whoa.
So you want to be really aware and not have infested taxidermy. So do a little bit of research. If it looks mangy and weird, don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I like taxidermy just to display, but I also like, if my raven turns out to be salvageable, I'm going to take it from the mounting that it's on now, because it's on a piece of wood. It's made like a burl of wood. It's made to look natural. I want mine in a big bird cage, like a vintage bird cage.
Oh, cool.
Because I would never actually keep a real raven in a bird cage in my house, but I would love to have one. Like, the ravens and crows are my favorite birds. So, but again, I don't want to bring it inside because it's grody.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I might have to let go of it, and I'm pretty sad about it, but, you know.
Oh.
So just do your research, though.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Sure.
Good to know. Good to know.
You can use all of this, like, small animal taxidermy and bones in mixed media assemblages, and I thought that it would be kind of cool if we came up with a couple of examples of artists who do this on a, like, super awesome scale.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a couple of artists that I came up with. Did you find any, Sharon?
I didn't, and I wish I had pictures of my friend's taxidermy, because he does some incredible stuff, and I don't have pictures of it, but he has wolves, he has buffalo heads, he has a horse that he has the skull, and then the skin is a drum that he made a drum. And
this is a horse that just died of natural causes, right?
What's that?
The horse just died of natural causes, and then he kind of kept it around by doing that. Like, I kind of want to stress that, like, although I have no problem with hunting, and I kind of think it's actually better to use all of the animal that you kill when you hunt. So, you know, I mean, again, Sharon and I aren't going out and just killing horses so that we can...
No, he doesn't kill any of the animals. He used to do it as a job, a side job, and he doesn't actually do it anymore because it bothers him too much. So he just can't do it at all anymore. But he has, you know, the things that he's done, and I mean, like the drum, it's kind of an honor to have that horse that was somebody's horse that had passed away, and he made it into this huge, beautiful drum that he uses for ceremonies, for powwow ceremonies.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I would like to see that, actually.
It's beautiful. I'll have to, when I go over sometime, see if I can take some pictures. I'm sure he'd let me take some pictures of the pieces he does, because truly his pieces are, I mean, when you look at the wolves' eyes and their teeth and everything, they were done so incredibly well. And it is heartbreaking that they were wolves, and apparently you can shoot wolves in Canada, and somebody shot the wolves and had him taxidermy them, and then he brought them back to him because the man that shot them, when he brought them home, his wife said, "Nope, out of here." And so my friend Crazy Eagle got the wolves back. So,
that's kind of funny. That's so weird, because in my house, my husband would say, "Nope, out of here."
He'd say, "Out of there."
Oh yeah, we've already had a few talks about that. Like, He's
about
like,
taxidermy animals?
Yeah, it bothers him. Some of them really bother him. Because I saw this, I don't know where I saw it, but they had like a deer, some kind of deer, mounted just the head and neck of it. But then they had put this bouffant wig on it and false eyelashes and a string of pearls. And it was fucking awesome.
Oh, I know where that was. Was it downtown Portland?
I saw a picture of it online somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But it was so awesome. I thought, oh my God, I would totally mount a deer head if I could do that to it. And my husband goes, please don't.
No. I kind of, in some ways I do, like, I get that too, because it does bother me sometimes when it's like, okay, clearly you just killed this animal to have it as a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
For some things. I think most people with the deers, it's like somebody was hunting and used it, or they found it.
That's how I would come across the deer
head,
because my dad and my brothers both hunt. And I eat the meat, like we eat the meat.
Yeah.
So, and although I'm not the biggest fan of deer meat in the world, I will eat it. It is awesome in a stew.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So,
it is.
My mom used to make Swiss steak. And I knew when she was making Swiss steak that we were having venison. That is how she passed it off on us. Because she thought it disguised the gamey flavor of it. But see, Sharon, you like gamey stuff.
I love gamey stuff.
And I am not the hugest gamey. Like, I don't like lamb. I don't like duck. Like,
I like the greasy.
I don't.
Stuff.
I don't. I'm a white meat person, so.
Oh man, see, that's why I raise quail.
So I've never eaten quail though, but my brother made himself super sick on quail eggs.
Oh, just the pickled quail eggs,
just he ate too many of them. I think he hard boiled them and ate a bunch of them, and then got really sick. Yeah, because they're a little bit richer than a chicken egg. I think
they are. Yeah, they can be kind of intense, but but they're good.
And actually, just for future reference, I think this spring sometime we are going to do an episode about eggs and using your eggs in art. Sharon just made the giddiest face, like, wee! So I think that's awesome. But I have a couple of artists that I wanted to talk about that are just, they gave me lady boner.
Oh,
Not even kidding you. True. They are so amazing. So the first one is Jessica Jocelyn, and she uses bones and antique brass and metalwork in her art. And what she does is she also uses found skulls and bones. And sometimes if it's a really cool skull, she'll make a cast of it and then and use it again. She makes a mold.
Oh,
so
okay.
she can use it more than once, but she doesn't kill any of the animals that she uses. Mm-hmm. And people give her skulls and bones, but she does like these super ornate, they'll be just like, it's even hard to describe. They're like, there'll be a skull and some of the bones, and she'll like recreate this beast using bits of brass and like filigree brass from old chandeliers and stuff. And it's amazing. And sometimes it's just a skull that's really adorned with all this brass work. And sometimes she creates this whole animal, and they're just the most awesome sculptures. And someday when I am a rich woman, I will own several pieces of her work. Like, it's really mind-blowing. And I'll put a link up to her website on the blog also. Absolutely. Because you have to see these. And if you're into bones and stuff in artwork, it's a must. She's a must see. And then this other artist, Serena Brewer, she is, I think, the founding member of a group called Rogue Taxidermy. And I will put a link to their website on the blog in the show notes, and a link to her website with her artwork, because she takes taxidermy to the next level. She'll like do a 2-headed pink baby chicken with antlers on it. Mm-hmm. Or they're kind of along the lines of like a gaff, if you're familiar with what a gaff is, for like from when they used to do stuff like the Fiji mermaids, or I can't remember what they're called, where they put a monkey's body on a fish and stuff like that. So she's taking like 2 different animals and grafting them together in this taxidermy, or she's taking one animal and like taking it to the next level and making it like, there's a purple squirrel on her website. that she's just dyed purple.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her work. It is so awesome.
Yeah, her stuff's great.
So I'm going to also put a link to her stuff on there. But it just kind of gives you an idea of how taxidermy doesn't have to be that weird, creepy walking into a hunter's house where they have like trophies everywhere.
Right.
It's very artful in and of itself, but it can also be, it can be artistic in a whole nother level. Like people are taking this to the extreme, like a jackalope, for instance.
Yeah, totally.
Like a jackalope is technically a gaff, and they're just really cool.
Yeah.
So, and I actually kind of want a jackalope too. I've been looking for one. So
yeah, they're great. I love jackalopes.
You know, something creepy about me now, maybe something creepy about Sharon. It might, but we're okay with our creepiness.
It's okay. The more you get to know us, the weirder we are.
No, it is kind of true.
But that's why you love us.
But yeah, that's why we're awesome, because we're a little bit weird. I actually asked my husband today, I said, why do crazy people make a beeline for me and sit down and talk to me in public? Like, do I look like I'm also crazy and it's inviting? Or
they sense that you're safe.
That's what well, that's not what my husband said. My husband said, yeah, you got a little bit of that going on. He goes, I think they look at you and go, hey, there's one of the club, and sit down beside you and start talking to you. So.
But why doesn't that happen to Kurt? Because he's one of the club too. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but he, I think, is a little bit more intimidating than I am in public because he's giant.
Yeah, that's true.
And orange. And he also has a more convincing fuck you face.
Right.
Like as crabby and real as I can be, I kind of don't have a fuck you face unless you really piss me off.
Right.
So I don't have it set, like I don't have resting bitch face. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was just going to say your resting face is a nice, pleasant face.
I don't have resting bitch face. I just don't.
Yeah, I
Thank
feel
God,
bad
though,
for people
because
that
I do too.
That sucks.
My cousin totally has resting bitch face.
Yeah, and you feel bad.
I'm always like, every once in a while, I'm like, dude, what crawled up your ass? And she's like, huh? I'm like, oh, you're not mad? And she's like, no, why does everybody always say that? And I'm like, sometimes I just want to take a picture of her and then show her what her face looks like when she's just sitting thinking, because it really does look super mean.
Oh.
But, oh well. Anyway, resting bitch face aside, that is taxidermy and bones and artwork in a nutshell. We could probably talk more about it, but, we only have a half an hour or so. But it's something that we love, and if you are uncomfortable with it, or if you just don't know about it, maybe do a little bit of research about it. Broaden your fucking horizons, people.
Absolutely.
Step out of your box. Look up a jackalope, for fuck's sake. And go to our website and go to the links for these artists, because you're going to love them.
Yeah,
totally. Promise. They're super awesome. If you have any nice comments about this episode that are useful and productive, and you want to tell us about an artist that we don't know about, or you have questions, or you feel like we didn't cover something, you can go ahead and send us an email at twoartsygals@gmail.com. And again, if you send me a message telling me I'm a horrible person because I like taxidermy, I am going to tell you to choke on a bag of dicks. So there you have it. And if you want to go check out all of our cool links for this episode, and I'll try to find some pictures of some work that I've done with bones in them, but I don't know if I have any. So anyway, I'll have some cool stuff up there, like I always try to, and you can go check that out at twoartsygals.wordpress.com. And also, I wanted to remind you that we're still looking for sponsors for our show, and there's a new page, tab on our blog that is about our sponsorship opportunities, so you can click on that and look at our pricing packages, which are pretty freaking crazy reasonable, I gotta say.
All right.
Oh, wait. Also, you can subscribe to us on Stitcher and on iTunes. So go do that also. Because then you don't have to worry about when a new episode goes up. You're subscribed. That's right. And you just get the new episode.
And you don't want to miss an episode.
No, you don't. So yeah, come back next week. Sharon and I are going to talk about sewing, which is also something we're super geeky about. So until then, make some cool shit, yo!